It's me.
Brother, may I have some oats? Welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that comes out of the crap shoot. I'm your host, JD. This is my co-host,
I am Steve.
James. I call him James. Everyone else calls him Jimmy. It just works like that.
I am Steve.
A lot of things have happened this week, James.
Yeah, what's happened?
Well, first off,
I've been out of it.
am Steve.
And I am Iron Man.
Jack Black has not been. He's not been doing too well recently, I guess.
What would make you say
recently
that?
I've seen him. Just the last two movies I've seen him in. Most recent Borderlands, and now the Minecraft movie. Sorry, it's titled a Minecraft movie, right? Not the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a sequel.
I guess. I don't know what they're doing with it, man.
And in the sequel, they introduce the other character, Alex. That's what the name. I was trying to remember the name. Yeah.
Alice from Borderland.
No, not Alice. Alex with an X at the end.
Alice in Borderland.
Yeah, I mean, setting aside terrible TV shows, let's talk about the amazing Minecraft movie trailer thing. We seen it on the big screen.
Waka, we saw it.
It's how do you feel about it, James? Do you think it?
It looks so bad.
Really?
I genuinely think this might be one of their biggest missteps.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it just like the CGI is bad, or the just everything?
I think they were trying to do something, and they didn't execute it well. I think Jack Black was also just not a good choice, but
Jack Black's always the right choice.
No,
he's always the right choice for
as many times
the MC of family-friendly kid shows.
The MCU of family-friendly kid shows? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, exactly. I meant to say a DCU.
DEI hire
the Disney cinematic universe. The DreamWorks cinematic universe, because Kung Fu Panda, right? You remember that? You remember that movie? There's four of them now.
I know, they made a new one and nobody liked it, apparently.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I can't tell if it was good or not.
I've not heard good things. That's all. I've just heard people be like, "Wow, this sucked."
Wow, this sucked. It was like Megamind 2, like no one liked it.
Well, that's because Megamind 2 didn't come out. They just made a bad TV show with worse animation and none of the original cast.
Megamind 2. So anyway, I mean,
you can't just say the word Megamind 2 like as if it's real.
To me, the CGI looked a little bit like I think they were trying to copy like those Minecraft animations back in the day. Ones that were like.
I don't even think that. I think they did like a worse. If that's what they're trying to do, they did. That's what
That's what it seemed like to me, because it was like a kind of the similar style, but it was like a worse one. Like, because at least the animations back then were like pretty. They weren't like, I don't know if they were like as high quality as the ones in the movie, but they were like more. They were like more stylized. The art felt better, but in this one, it just feels like a generic one. I can't really like pinpoint what's wrong with it, because I'm not an artist.
I feel like I can kind of help you like maybe figure it out, because I've got an idea of, to me at least, what I think is bad about it.
I think they try to make it look realistic, but it just doesn't work with the Minecraft animation aesthetic.
What they should have done, because it looks really weird because we have real people interacting. They should have made one of two things. Either it should have been the Minecraft creatures and characters, but in the style of people, and not in like, maybe blocky decor, but not the things that are living. They're not block shaped. Or they should have made the people into Minecraft characters once they enter the world, and not try to do a live action mixed with the animation, because it just comes off disconnected, because there's no.
Well, I don't know. I think Space Jam pulled that off pretty well, right? Didn't they have like
I think Space Jam's infamous for people not actually liking that, though, JD.
Oh, really? I thought people liked Space Jam. Every time I've heard anyone talk about Space Jam, it's always about how much they like it.
Here's the thing. I've learned recently, apparently people don't like Space Jam as much as we thought they did.
I thought people didn't like the second Space Jam.
They don't like the first one too, apparently.
Okay.
I'm learning people, like, when they were kids, they liked it, but now they're like, oh, wait, this is terrible.
I don't know. I've never watched it, so
I didn't know. I'm just going off like what I've recently learned about other people. Uh, and I guess from a very my perspective, I thought it was good, but I guess apparently not a lot of people did.
so if everyone was like a Minecraft animated character, you think you would be fine with Jack Black voicing Steve?
Yeah, I think it's not him voicing Steve, but he's just not.
It's just
he doesn't
him
look,
being Steve.
Yeah, he just doesn't look like Steve. Is also the thing. It's like not. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. He's got like a
Steve's supposed to be
weird
like the most generic looking dude ever.
right.
He's
And here's
literally
the
like
thing:
a blank template.
they were originally going to have somebody else play Steve JD. I don't know if
I
you're
didn't
aware
know
of
if they
this.
were actually going to put Steve in the movie. They were
I
just going to
think
put like someone else.
I like in the Minecraft story mode game.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do like a Minecraft story mode thing
Maybe
where
they should have.
they just have a entirely different main character and then an actual story.
I definitely think they should have, in my opinion.
Because I think the Minecraft animation style works pretty well to make a movie out of.
I just don't think it looks good movie wise because there's like a weird disconnection in my
I mean,
opinion.
so far I like Jason Momoa. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Jason Momoa.
How many lines does he say in the trailer? Like 3? Maybe
said the
one?
word skadoosh.
Yeah, he said skadoosh, I think.
He said, yeah, okay. And I don't think he said anything else.
Yeah, he had like 2 lines and both of them were just a word. He's like him putting they used a crafting table in the movie or in the trailer. So he like I don't know what they crafted actually. Was it like
he didn't craft something I recognize from Minecraft, so I was
no,
very
he crafted
confused.
like 2 balls connected with a chain. I think that's what that was.
Yeah, like a mace.
Like prison cuffs, like the ones you put on the feet, the balls.
I wouldn't say prison cuffs. It looked like a kind of like scale. You know?
Nah, it was like it's like with those cannon. It's like the type of cannonball you shoot in Sea of Thieves to take out the enemy ship's mast, like the spinning chain ball.
Oh, you know what? You might
Anyway,
be
he goes,
right.
He goes
That might be what it
skadoosh.
is.
He doesn't say skadoosh. He says something else. But when we said skadoosh,
he does say skadoosh.
it's not skadoosh. It's something else. We made fun of it because it sounded like skadoosh, and because Jack Black was Kung Fu Panda, and he says skadoosh.
Exactly.
But he
That's
says
why I'm pretty sure he
skadoosh, and then
does
it
say
crafts
skadoosh.
it crafts the balls, right? That was it. It was like a 4-second cutaway scene of him crafting. Anyway, though, it was not that great. There's a Tesseract though. There's like a MacGuffin.
Yeah, I think it's like a diamond
Tesseract
block.
thing.
In my brain, I think it's supposed to be a diamond block or something.
It was too glowy from what I remember to be a diamond block. It was also like light. It was like glowy light blue. I don't know. I think it's a Tesseract, James. They're trying to enter in the MCU in that direction. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Sorry, I got no clue what you're talking about.
Anyway, though, yeah, Jack Black goes, "I am Steve."
Yeah, he says it weirdly. And again, this is why I'm like, I think Jack
Well, it's because
Black
he didn't tell you
it.
that he was Steve. How are you supposed to know?
Because
Just some dude in a blue
it
shirt.
was announced that he'd be playing Steve like a year ago.
No, I mean, other than people who don't, stay chronically online and on TikTok like you do. Like how is I supposed to know?
The fact he's wearing a blue shirt.
That's it? Just the blue shirt?
Well, I don't know, JD. Can you tell me anything else you know about the character of Steve from Minecraft?
No.
Exactly.
I don't even know what he sounds like.
He doesn't.
And in your words, James, Jack Black doesn't look like Steve.
Smash Bros had a better adaptation of Steve than the fucking Minecraft movie.
Yeah, there's some other characters in there, but I don't remember what they look like. Is there a little girl in there?
Yeah, there's like a teenage girl.
Okay.
She has like a hoodie on. No, wait. She doesn't have a
classic
hoodie on.
Minecraft demographic. Yeah.
Yeah. They're really hitting it.
They really hit the classic Minecraft demographic. You have Jason Momoa wearing the pink cutoff. What was it the pink, like the pink jacket? That's 3 sizes too small.
Jacket. Yes, that's 3 sizes too small. He has on like a fucking really bad wig.
Yeah, you have the teenage girl with the hoodie.
No, she doesn't have the hoodie on. The boy
or?
has the hoodie on it.
Oh,
that's what I realized is that the boys don't want the hoodie on.
Yeah, there was like a boy in there, like a little boy and he's got the hoodie. And there was a girl, I think.
Yeah, she's the girl from the Wednesday Addams TV show, I realized.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, everybody who plays Minecraft, because guess what? Minecraft is for everyone.
We
Hooray!
are playing Minecraft.
You don't know what that song is, do you?
I'm thinking about the Jack. Oh God, I almost called him Jack Black Minecraft song he
Yippee!
made.
It's fun to do something. Anyway, it was a song by Star Palm. They made a Minecraft song.
Wow.
It was about creepers. There was a creeper in the trailer.
Yeah, his name's
It was creepy. It was creepy to me. It looked pretty creepy, right?
Yeah, I thought it was good looking, and it was sneaking up on Jason Momoa. I'm
It's because
guessing
it was
kill
like
him.
it's because the Minecraft creatures have like a texture to them. Like the sheep wool actually looks like real wool. It's
right.
Like they try to make it look like real wool.
Which I don't mind them doing that. I want to make it clear. I think,
and then
that's
the creepers are like covered in like a moss or something. I don't know what it is. It looks like a moss.
Hamas?
Yeah, they're covered in moss.
No, they're covered in Hamas.
James, we're talking about Minecraft right now. Do you actually want to,
talk about Minecraft? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it covered in moss. I thought that was a game theory reference because if you remember way back in the day, I think it came from game theory where Matt Pat tried to guess what a creeper is and like what it would be based on, and he settled on a type of like explosive moss. He's like, I think it's a sentient explosive moss, and that's why I was like, oh, it kind of looks like moss. A creeper kind of looks like moss. Yeah, that's true.
Creeper.
I think that's what that theory. I watched it way long ago. I might be remembering it wrong, just like how you thought Matt Pat's FNAF theory was completely different than what he said it was.
No, I had it right. You had it wrong, actually.
Yeah. So, Claptrap's in the movie, Aquaman's in the movie, and accompanied by extras 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm. You know what I've seen of this that's like, of course, people are having this reaction.
Yeah, what
the obviously, we had to get the opinions of the people that matter the most.
Sure.
The guys that really love to complain about things, JD.
I actually love to watch those
incels
videos whenever I have the time.
They decided to give their opinion on it because they saw there was a black woman in the movie, and they literally just posted.
Posted
a picture of her.
I remember it.
They're just straight posting pictures of her and going, "Come on, you can't be serious, right?" And they're not like saying anything else. They're just saying it about her. And guess who it is that's saying this, JD?
You
no,
I poke you in the forehead.
It's classic. Your favorite guy to use gifs of, Nick Fuentes.
I haven't used a Nick Fuentes gift in like a few months.
He's
a class act. He's a funny guy.
I wouldn't call him that.
I think he's funny. He's funny looking.
He is, because he's a
yeah.
Nazi.
So I mean, I don't follow him on any like social media or anything. That's
he's actually a huge fan of his.
You are. I don't get recommended anything by him, really. I know you do though.
JD.
Because
I've just stayed informed. That's why I don't say anything. Whatever you send the gif of him, I'm like, he doesn't know any better.
Yeah, sure. Stay informed. Yeah, okay. That's what they call it now.
They do.
Yeah, so they posted a picture of the black woman. Again, another like perfectly was she like middle aged or something? I forgot.
No, I think she's like in her 30s.
Yeah, like 30-year-old woman. Average demographic for Minecraft.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's untrue though.
Do 30-year-old women play Minecraft, James?
Yeah, it's called the Dream SMP.
What percentage of the Minecraft demographic do you think 30-year-old women plus are?
Less than say 5.
You think it's 5%?
I said less than.
Oh.
Let me make it clear here. I did not say that. I said less.
No, I think I'll edit that out. It's gonna have type a timestamp right there. All right.
Son of a bitch. But yeah, no, they're upset that she's in it because hey, why wouldn't they be upset about somebody just being somewhere?
Of course.
I think it's crazy to be upset about it. I think to be upset about anything is that they are normal looking people, and I think something that
I
people are
don't know
going to
if
take
I would
away.
say Jason Momoa is a normal looking guy, but like I don't walk outside and see
Normal,
Jason Momoa as
everyday,
like
average looking people.
your average Joe.
Your
Your
average
average
Joes.
Steve.
um, but yeah, no, I think I think genuinely um it's not gonna be a great movie. I think they changed a lot of humor. So because I've been staying informed about the development of this movie, JD. So
Stalking the
to give you a
development of the movie,
little
yeah.
give you a little idea of some stuff that's been happening. There was somebody else who was supposed to play Steve originally.
Yeah.
Rob McElhenney. He's the guy from It's Always Sunny, the buff
Oh,
guy.
it's the guy who voices SpongeBob.
Nope, that's Tom Kenny.
Oh,
It's a completely different person, not even close. Fucking idiot.
my bad,
Just get
James.
overly angry about this.
Get really defensive
No,
about the about the
yeah,
actor.
man. I mean, you shouldn't have fucked up like that. It's on you. But
Sure. It's a hands up in the air.
and,
He
you know, it's
got
not my
me.
fault. You're a fucking idiot. But yeah, so I'm sorry.
I'm leaving. No, I'm editing out that apology right there. Go
no,
ahead.
no, you don't get to apologize.
James, just fucking stick to your goddamn thoughts, all right? Don't backpedal like that. That's not manly of you,
Sorry about that.
as Blake would say.
You would say a lot of things. But yeah, Rob McElhenney was supposed to play Steve originally. And I don't think with the humor it looks like we're going to be getting from this movie that it would have played with how he was, because he was also the head writer for it. He was writing and acting in it, and when he left, I feel like they went with a completely different style once they knew they were doing Jack Black, changed the humor, and I think it just doesn't work. Personally, the whole I am Steve thing, I think
The humor of like, what was it? Just having funny-ish delivered lines.
yeah, like hey, I just said
Where
something.
the line
That's pretty
itself
funny,
is not
right?
funny. It's just you try to say it in a
Right.
funny way.
Yeah, like hey, I just said something funny.
I
Well,
thought it was
no,
pretty funny. He goes, I am Steve.
I am Steve.
I'm Steve.
I just think it would have been funnier if I don't know he didn't say it.
I mean, I thought that was a pretty funny dialogue exchange. Reminded me of your script where the kid A goes, "Who are you?" and then Steve goes, "I am Steve."
Yeah, classic thing that happens in my script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's less exposition I thought there was.
Than my script.
Well, it's okay to have exposition in a script, Jay. That's also
It's
just to
not
get the
mine.
context across, you know.
Um,
Just can't be in the dialogue, or it can
right,
be
yeah,
because it's funny.
because I am Steve.
Long ago, Promethea.
4 nations. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's not gonna be great. If my opinion.
Are we gonna watch it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're gonna watch it. What kind of question is that?
Are you gonna
Of
watch it
course,
with your?
we're
You're
gonna
gonna
watch
watch it
it.
with your dad and your family members?
Yeah, I
Like, hey
can't
guys,
wait.
let's go watch Steve,
I am Steve.
a Minecraft movie, the Steve Legacy.
My dad looks at me as I just smile at him.
Hey, you want to go watch a movie? What movie comes around when Steve comes out?
You're not even gonna call it by its name just when Steve comes out.
No, you just like tricked them into going to the movie. You're like, hey, let's go watch this movie A, and then you get there and you're like, yeah, can I have 3 tickets to a Minecraft movie? And you do that thing where you do the Jason Statham like turn around, look at your father, and your father's looking at you like Beetlejuice's resting face, the scrunched up lip. Anyway,
My overbite slightly peering out of my mouth.
mhm. Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah,
I
you're about
like
to
I
say.
like the trailer. It looked pretty good to me. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a time.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'll just
And
mention this real
that's
quick
all.
before we get into the other movie that we watched. But I also watched Alien Romulus. By the way, finally did. Watched it with my family, my dear old dad and my sis. And I have to say, the movie itself, I liked it. But man, that was a terrible viewing experience for me.
What?
We watched it like Alien Romulus came out like a while ago before we watched it. It was like at least 2 weeks ago. And so we went into the theater, and guess what? The movie theater was full. Every single seat taken. Well, except for like the very front, which is like you're doing the what was it? You're doing the Norman Osborn staring up into the sky gif. Like those seats were free, but every other seat was like not. They were pretty full, but there were two seats next to each other near the front row, and there was one seat, like an empty seat, just near in the middle. And so I was like, I just took one for the team. I was like, yeah, I'll go sit in the empty seat. You guys can sit together. Part of it was because I didn't want to hear my father lean over to me during the movie and just go, "Do you know why that just happened?" I'm like, no, and I don't care.
JD, aren't you curious?
See, or him leaning over
you
at me.
Remember the
like,
time?
Or him leaning over at me like, it's just impossible that these aliens get so big in such a short time without eating anything. It just doesn't make any sense.
I love that because it's when you told me that, I'm like, I asked, I'm like, Ezra,
I think I'm like half convinced that he does it just to annoy us. You know, part of the, like it's similar to how I do like certain bits just to annoy you, say certain things to annoy you, even though I could care less about it.
I care so much.
Yeah, and I know that you care a lot about it. It's your entire thing. So yeah, I didn't get that during the movie, like my father leaning over and talking to me, but instead I sat next to two old ladies, and and I think these old ladies, well, the one on my right was with her friends, and the one on my left was with her husband, and they both have this thing. They have like this stress response for like dealing with anxious scenes in the movie. Like so they get some pretty like they have a good setup in the movie. Like some scenes make you feel, you know, a little tense in the chest, like you're worried about what's going to happen, or you're like anticipating a jump scare. And their stress response was to like crack a joke out loud, like to just to themselves. It's not like talking. It's not like talking to the people next to them. It's just to themselves, but they say it loud enough that I could hear it. So like, I think it was during the scene where the preg lady, she wakes up after falling out off the ship, and she's like crawling underneath the catwalk, and the alien lands on top of her. They just go. I just hear like one of them say like, "Wow, he must be really heavy," and I'm like, just shut up. Like getting spasms.
There's not even a joke there.
Yeah, there's no joke there. It's not a joke.
There's no joke there. I love you telling me this, just both us going.
It's literally that.
No joke.
It's them trying to crack themselves up to make them feel a little bit better. But I wish they did it more quietly.
I wish you guys would just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but so I had to deal with that like not during most of the movie, because a lot of the movie there's, you know, like or at least during the first parts, it's like set up. There's not like scary scenes or anything. But more toward like the end of the movie, I started hearing that like over and over in my ear while I'm trying to watch the movie. And so that didn't help. That didn't help a lot. Secondly, I think I remembered that other thing that you told me about why people didn't like Alien Romulus is that they didn't like the third act of the movie. And I could see why. Because I just watching the third act of this movie reminded me a lot of like Prometheus third act, where just like a lot of stuff just starts happening, and it comes out of like it comes out of nowhere, basically.
I wouldn't say it comes out of nowhere.
It came out of you know, a vagina. That's what happened.
That's not nowhere, JD.
And then it was like there's new thing, just new creature just dropped, babe.
What that pussy?
But yeah, third act was like really. Luckily, I could like, you know, suspend disbelief for a lot, so I still enjoyed it. But you know, if you put a little bit of thought into it, Then you realize that in that last section they just have like a gravity turn off switch next to them in that hallway, which I don't remember. I don't even remember what that hallway was supposed to be. If it was like an important thing, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. It was just like a hallway.
Are you talking about when they're going down the hallway and
Yeah,
shooting
it's
the
the
aliens?
staff hallway that leads into the elevator that goes up to the cargo
Yeah.
bay. That hallway just has a gravity turn off switch, and then they turn off the gravity and they shoot.
Well, no, the whole ship has a gravity like turn off thing. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, they have a gravity turn off thing, but she flips the switch that turns off gravity because they turned
Right.
it on in the beginning, and then she switches it off again
Right.
in that hallway so she could shoot the aliens. And then they have this funny scene where like they float through the air, trying to like not touch the swirling alien acid, which I don't know if that's how zero G works on like liquids, but it just swirls
Liquid.
and then they go like through they jump through the hoops like a like a dog through the hoop. Yeah, and then they get to the elevator, and during this entire time they're getting attacked by like a lot of aliens. It did remind me a bit of like Alien Isolation during this part.
Yeah.
Because like the first 3/4 of the game, which I think should have just been the whole game. They should have cut out the last fourth. But the first 3/4, in like the very last part of the first 3/4, you go down into like this section, and then you realize that there's more than one alien. And it's not just more than one alien, it's like a lot of aliens. Like full grown aliens.
Yeah, they've been there the whole time
Yeah, so
essentially.
for the majority of Alien Isolation, you really only deal with one alien, and then you kill it. You kill it during like the middle section, and then you have a little section where you deal with like androids, and then the last section is like now there's a lot of aliens because there's like a whole nest they built like right underneath the reactor that you didn't realize. So this section reminded me a bit like of like that because it was like, oh, just face huggers, right? It's just face huggers, no aliens yet. But then there's like there's like a huge alien nest in like this staff hallway that goes to the elevator. So they like hunker down at the end of this hallway, and she has this gun, and it just like destroys. She like shooting up these aliens. It's badass. She like just completely destroys these aliens, and there's like 50 of them charging at her.
Mhm.
And after she kills like 10 of them, they kind of scatter away. They like get scared. They run. And then it lets them do like the little hoop jumping acid thing, and they get to the elevator, and then they attack him again at the elevator. And this elevator sequence, man, it was almost too dramatic to be scary. Where she's like, they're going up this elevator shaft in 0G, but then the gravity generators turn back on, like in the middle of it. So she doesn't grab on anything. She couldn't grab onto anything because she's in the middle of the shaft. So it turns on and she falls. And then an alien that's climbing up the shaft to like attack them grabs her with like its tail and like saves her from basically dying. So it grabs her with the tail and saves her from dying by like wrapping her around her waist, which, it didn't snap her spine or anything. It grabs her around her waist, and there's like a whole 30 seconds where it just stares at her while it has her grabbed, and like it's slowly getting closer to her, like about to use the second jaw, about to kill her. And
Right.
and then during this entire time, the elevator that's at the top of the shaft like drops, and then Andy, the synthetic, like holds it, like, or grabs it to keep it from hitting her. And so what the alien does is it grabs her in the middle of the shaft, but then what it does is it brings her up with her tail, and then like moves her over to like like the ladder section with her tail, with its tail, and then it tries to get in close and try and kill her. And so then Andy drops the elevator, and it hits the alien, and yeah, that's that section. And then he drops down again with it.
There's also some implications with that alien that they don't like talk about. It has like sparks coming out of its head and stuff.
I don't remember that.
Because it has the giant like slash on it,
I thought it was a regular alien. It just looked like a normal alien to me.
It was a regular alien, but it has like again a slash on its like face, because it was the one they were using for like a lot of their promotion art.
Was
And
it?
so that's why,
I don't
yeah,
know. I didn't notice a slash on its face or anything. But I mean, if you say so, James, whatever makes
I do.
sense to you, because to me it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But that's okay because I'm okay with movies that don't make sense. Have some fun with it.
Well, that's because you're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, and then there's also a face hugger there, and it jumps at her, and then it doesn't. It gets like shot up by
Just
Andy.
and ignoring that.
So yeah, dude, plot armor is crazy. It's like anime MC plot armor levels during the
It's
third
great.
act. So that the alien just doesn't kill her, and then later on, she fights the at the very end of the movie, she fights the big. She fights Slender Man, the alternate Slender Man, and there's like a section. There's like multiple sections where the alien, the Slender Man, just kind of stares at her, like slowly walking toward her, staring at her. There's one part near the end where they're in like the cargo hold below the ship where it's carrying all the dust minerals, and so it like smacks her and she goes flying like across the ground, and then it's like towering over, and then it just like leans back and starts laughing. It's like laughing for like a good like 10 like 20 seconds, and then she kicks over the egg thing and it burns a hole in the cargo hold. And
Dude, it's so fucking weird.
that was pretty funny. I mean, it was creepy, but couldn't have just killed her and then started laughing. I mean, it's just it's a creepy monster. I'll give it that. But it was kind of like a came out of nowhere kind of thing.
I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere. That was kind of built up with like the whole pregnancy from the beginning, and then her injecting herself and then like showing the effects of the injection, like what it does and everything. They kind of built it up. It didn't just
Well,
suddenly happen.
When did the well, I thought it was like a because they show what happens when you get injected with it, right? You just turn into like a big like mass of you turn into like Akira from a you just start growing like mats. You just growing mass of meat out of your body, like turn into like a big weird alien hybrid thing. But she didn't do that. She injected the thing and then she was fine. But it's just the baby that was like well weird. So yeah, to me it came out of nowhere. Because it reminded me of, it was like Prometheus, right? Where like the science lady has like the baby, but it's like a squid. And at the end of the movie, the squid comes back and it kills the big engineer dude.
Yeah, it's exactly like that, JD.
See, yeah, and there's like an engineer. There's an engineer. It's an engineer. It looks like an engineer from Prometheus, like the big bald white guy.
Well, it's supposed to.
Pale white guy. Well, why is it an engineer, James? That came out of nowhere.
Because engineers were ancient humans.
We're ancient humans. So what? That black goo just turns the baby into an engineer?
Well, it's kind of like a round process of like the engineers thought they were perfection. But then, in a sense, they made us with Prometheus. And then
is your explanation making sense to you right now, James?
Yes.
Because to me it was like engineers, and then all of a sudden first of all, it wasn't just like an engineer. It was like a weird like mix.
It's a xenomorph engineer, yeah.
Because why is it xenomorph then? Where's that coming from?
What do you mean?
Like the Slender Man. You said it was like a xenomorph engineer.
Yeah, it's
mix?
a xenomorph engineer.
And that came from the black goo also?
Yeah, because that's where the xenomorphs come from. JD is the black goo. The black goo from Prometheus, remember?
But was the xenomorph then come from Prometheus? I don't remember it being in Prometheus.
Well, it's at the end of the movie when the squid attacks the engineer. Then engineer gives birth because the squid was essentially just a face hugger. It creates a I think they're called the protomorph or something. They have a specific title for it. But yeah, it's like called the protomorph. It's a specific kind of like xenomorph because it's not the final version. It's like something along the way.
Okay.
And so
I just don't understand how the black goo works. It's like Freddy Fazgoo to me. It's just.
I was trying to explain.
It just does whatever the thing does.
Whoa. What about this other thing?
Okay, so if you inject black goo into yourself, what happens?
It's kind of unpredictable, as the movie shows. There's like a few
so different. Saying at random, it's just random. Lol, it just happens.
That's not what I said.
You just said unpredictable.
I said things could have happened.
So anyway,
Am I annoying
I
you?
remember. Okay, I remember this in Prometheus. All right, do not. I know you're trying to gaslight me thinking that it's just. Of course, it comes from the black goo. Well, you know
But
what
it
happened
does
in
just come from
Prometheus,
the black
James?
goo, JD.
Okay, so what happened in Prometheus is the dude. So the android synthetic gives
David.
drugs the drink with black goo, and then the dude drinks it, and then the dude has sex with the girl, and the dude like dies from the black goo. He starts turning into like that. I guess like a monster pile of meat or whatever, and he gets flamethrowered or something. But then the girl, that's what she was pregnant with. She got pregnant with the squid thing from the dude who had the black goo. And then the squid thing attaches to the engineer and like face huggers him. And then the engineer gives birth to the alien thing. That's what happened with the black goo in Prometheus. Right? Am I remembering
the
that
black
right?
goo also is what bursts because it has a few different, like I was saying, that it's kind of unpredictable because there's that, then there's like the Irish guy and then the nerd guy who both had different kind of effects. The Irish guy, the black goo got spit onto him and then he morphed with his suit and was then like kind of zombified. And then the nerd guy, it made the snake, and the snake went into him and stuff. It has like kind of different outcomes and like the things
Yeah,
that it'll do.
because the thing with the black goo is that it's just whatever the movie wants it to do.
Yeah, it's MacGuffin.
Yeah, the black goo. So like, I remember that scene. It was because the black goo, like one of the worms that were crawling in the dirt or whatever, got into the black goo, and the black goo made this like weird snake monster thing out of it, turned it into a snake monster. And so the snake monster, it like attacks one of the dudes, and the other guy who got spit on was because he cut off like the snake's head, and then it has acid blood, so it spit onto his helmet, and so he got the acid on his face, and then I think he fell into like face first into a puddle of black goo, and that's what turned him into the monster. And then the other guy who was attacked by the snake just dies. I think I don't remember anything that happened with him.
I don't know. I feel like there was something that happened with him, but I just can't recall at the moment.
Because I only remember one monster dude in the movie. It was the guy whose face got spit on, and he fell into the black goo. Yeah, Irish tattoo man.
I'm Irish. Is that your entire character? Yeah, and I made the maps, but you get trapped.
I'm just saying that in Alien Romulus, the black goo, when they showed us like the lab and what the black goo does, first of all, it heals you, and then it turns you into like a mass flesh eating like mass monster, and I assume it kills you because we see the rat. We see the rat Blake. The rat's name is Blake.
Oh,
did you get that joke?
You were saying something else.
Did you get that joke? That's just between you and me, James.
That's one for us.
We see the rat, and it's like just this big, like
guys, here at the Crap Shoot, we typically make jokes for everyone, but this one
here at the Crap Shoot
for us.
We joke around. We do a little trolling
here.
So that's what they show the black goo does. But then like she injects the black goo, and then it doesn't do that. It just does something else.
Well, it's also, I think she didn't have it for long enough as well, I'd say. I definitely think that if she like wasn't killed by the thing, we would have like seen it take effect. Also, I think her being pregnant made the goo maybe transfer to it.
Yeah, so
I mean, obviously that's the case that happened, but like I think because she was pregnant is entirely why she has no effect from it personally, other than like,
yeah, so instead of like the baby turning into like a mass flesh thing, it just turns into an engineer xenomorph hybrid thing, Slenderman.
Yeah, kinda. Again, this is something that they've also
done
previously within. Yeah, and they've also done this previously within Alien as well. This isn't something new for this movie.
I don't remember the previous. I only watched Alien 1 and 2, I think. Was that in a different Alien? This is
from
movie?
Everyone's favorite Alien, Resurrection. The one with Hellboy.
I don't think I've ever seen Resurrection.
A lot of people wish they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, well, I mean, the birth scene was pretty. Actually, it was pretty gross. It made me have a little bit of
You're
a
about to say
shivering.
something really positive. You're like, actually, I take them back. That was disgusting. I wish I didn't see that.
Because I'm like a little squeamish. So like when she's like birthing the egg, it doesn't show her crotch, but it has like a top down view, and her shirt's covering the crotch,
Insinuates it.
and it just like spurts out so much blood, and I get squeamish, right? So I'm like, ooh, I was like a little disgusted at that.
Yeah, Jay's a little bitch.
Mostly just it's because of like I'm okay with like blood on screen. If like someone just explodes into a blood pile, I'm okay with that. But if it's like squirting out of somewhere, then it like gets me. I don't know why I can't describe it. It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that scene was pretty gross to me. God, we hate women here on the podcast. Up top, James.
Jay's completely alone in this. I don't know why you'd say something like that. It's
Oh,
absolutely
come on, James.
reprehensible.
That's the reason why you're gay.
No, I'm gay
You
because I'm
hate
just gay.
you hate women.
I thought you were about to say something else there.
Would I have been true? Would I have been right?
I
Chat?
don't know.
Thoughts?
What were you going to say?
Thoughts, chat? You know what? My friends have been doing that bit, and it's been driving me insane. It's like we're playing games, and then they're just like they ask a question like they're like, "What does this boss do, chat? What does it do, chat?" And they like ask it to no one. They're talking to no one. They just say chat because they watch too many Twitch streams, too many Kai CNAT streams, and they that's what they refer to chat. They just call it chat.
Just call each other chat.
Yeah. Thoughts, chat?
Thoughts and prayers, chat?
Yeah, so that's Alien Romulus. What do you think about the other movie that we watched yesterday?
We watched another movie?
Yes, we did. It's called we watched Beetlejuice. That's the name of the movie. It's two of them. Apparently it's a sequel to the first Beetlejuice, which I didn't watch.
It was, and it was a good sequel, I'll say that.
I thought it was a pretty fun movie. It was like all over the place, but I kind of like that. It was to me, it was kind of boring for the first act and the second act. And then the third act was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first act and the second act are like, they're trying to develop these characters, of which I have no idea who they are. And I also don't.
He's like, I don't know who a single one of you fucking people are.
I don't really care for these characters, and they're all kind of assholes.
But they're your favorite characters, JD.
Every single character is an asshole, and I hate all of them. So I don't care about their goddamn like personal issues or whatever. But the third act is when they like hop into the underworld and a bunch of crazy shit happens, and it's cool. I like the creature designs. I like the effects they do. I think they're like a lot of it is practical and some of it is CGI, but it all looked pretty good. So hey,
Here's looking at you,
fun
kid.
Movie. I wish it didn't have the musical bit at the end, and then
JD not understanding the musical bit was my favorite thing. I just kept
turns into a musical.
It's not a musical.
You kept telling me it wasn't a musical, and then they have a musical bit. It's just a bit. I think a lot of the jokes in there they weren't like really jokes. They were like bits. The bits were really funny. I won't lie. Some of the bits are really funny. My favorite one was probably William Dafoe. He's in the movie, and he plays like
really good.
He plays a dead actor who acted as a detective when he was alive. So he's pretending to be a detective in the underworld. In the afterlife.
There's so many good bits with Willem Dafoe specifically.
And so he acts like an actor that's pretending to be a detective. And that's his bit. And one of his sub bits is that he has an assistant who gives him coffee. And she just gives him coffee during like the
But he
weirdest
never
times.
drinks the coffee.
He never drinks the coffee. He just takes it. He just takes it and then like walks around with it and does his scenes, those line readings while he's holding the coffee.
He'll sometimes crush it in his hand and throw it into a waste bin full of other coffee cups he's crushed and thrown in there.
Yeah,
He'll just have it to hold. It's so fucking funny.
it's so funny.
It's genuinely, I can't describe enough. It's just so stupid. I love it.
I love the way they set up the bit too, because at first it seemed pretty normal because they're in his office, and then the assistant comes in with the coffee, and it's like, oh yeah, classic cliche. Assistant comes in with coffee. But then like it devolves into like just it comes out of nowhere. So like during the end, during one of the end sequence, they're in a church. They're in a church, and William Dafoe has tracked down Beetlejuice, and he's trying to like detain him or something. And so he like busts through the window in the church, like gets frozen, and then when he gets unfrozen, he starts talking to Beetlejuice like, "Yeah, we're gonna like we're gonna take you, we're gonna lock you away for a long time." And then like the camera just like pans over to like his assistant is just standing there with a coffee. So he takes the coffee and continues talking about it like zero delay.
It's so
Doesn't even acknowledge
good,
it.
man. It's so good.
Doesn't even acknowledge it. So yeah, the bits are really funny. So hey.
I loved, there was a moment where Willem Dafoe was talking to a group of people he calls the Goon Squad or the Ghoul Squad. I thought
the
that
Ghoul
was
Squad. They're not
the Ghoul Squad.
You're about to say Gooners, man. They were not Gooners.
I know. No, they're all fucking motorcycle cops.
He has a
California.
squad of cops, and they're all motorcycle cops. And all of them have like a motorcycle helmet with the mustache and the sunglasses.
And they're all in Willem Dafoe's office, and he's talking to them all, walking up and down the line, talking. And it doesn't focus on it till the end, but you see in the background the assistant's holding fucking cue cards filled with the script that he's supposed to be saying.
Yeah.
When I noticed it, because she was just like flipping through.
It's like it was like blocked.
Shots,
it was blocked by
hilarious.
like a couple of the officers. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
I also love. This is disconnected from Willem Dafoe, but we got introduced to Willem Dafoe with this shot. There are two dead cops screaming at a skeleton. Mm-hmm. And the skeleton is like panicking, looking back and forth between them, freaking out. And it's just like in the corner of one of the shots, but it's just, I don't know why, but I just found that so funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It was a funny movie. Michael Keaton, I think he does Beetlejuice. Hold on. Sorry,
yeah, I'm
allergic to lying.
I think he does Beal.
I'm allergic to lying. It reminded me a lot of Borderlands, the Borderlands movie, with just how noticeably aged everyone is in the movie.
But here's the thing. They're supposed to be these ages.
Yeah, the thing is that they're supposed to be. It just reminded me of Borderlands because everyone in that movie is also like really old. So the only commonality is just the age. They're like all over like they're all like over 40 or whatever.
It's because most of the cast is coming from the movie that was from like I think the 80s.
Mm-hmm. But in universe canonically they're supposed to be old. So
yes. They're
not supposed to be playing like 20-year-olds like in Borderlands. So
it's so fucking funny, dude.
Dude, the deaths in these in Beetlejuice are just like they come and go real fast. It's like Ghost. It was like Ghost Rider driving along the highway, and I was the cop with the speedometer, and I'm reading like 300 miles an hour. I'm like, what the? It keeps climbing. So yeah, there's like a kind of a main bad guy. There's like a couple main bad guys, and one of them is like this 20-ish year old kid. Who's like a murderer, but he's a ghost.
Vague age man,
and he tricks the main character girl into trading her life
or something
with his, and his death is like it happened instantly, basically.
Happens.
So what happens is he goes in with the girl and he's like, sorry, but you traded your life with mine, and now I'm gonna go get this passport stamped, and then I'm good to go. And then when he gets it stamped, it's Beetlejuice who stamped it, and it's not a real stamp. And Beetlejuice goes, bye-bye. He goes, bye-bye, sucker. And then the ground opens up and he just falls into Tartarus and dies.
Swallowed into hell.
Yep, that's it. He just falls into Tartarus and dies. And that's his death. That's the last time we see him. He's actually dead.
It was so resolved. It was just, and plot's over.
and plot's over. And at the end of the movie, what they do is they summon the sandworm that they met earlier, and then it kills the other main bad guy girl, and also the dude who I thought was also pretty funny. The human character dude.
Oh yeah,
he's the manager. So the main character's mother,
oh my god,
who was the main character of the previous movie, Lydia, has a manager, and the manager pretends to have the hots for her and wants to marry her just so he can get more money. And man, he's got some funny bits too. There's one where he's like interacting with the main character at this at the funeral. And what he does is he walks up and he goes and he boops her on the forehead like semi forcefully that it moves her head a little bit. He doesn't just
boop her, he does it like 2 times in a row, and she's like visibly upset by it, just staring right at him.
It might have been improv. it seemed like improv where like the actress herself didn't know that was gonna happen, so she's just she widens her eyes a little bit like what the hell just happened. That wasn't in the script. But it was so funny because he goes like, yeah, you and me, we're not so different, you and I, I had a grandfather who passed away. And so
oh yeah, he's like trying to relate to her dead grandfather, and it's like it's so like just fucking out of nowhere almost.
Yeah, anyway, it's just like it's ridiculous. That's what the comedic thing is, and it works. It's funny.
It's great.
I'd give it a 8 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. I don't think I would like the original movie that much, but this one was pretty cool.
Oh, I love the original so much. It's so good. I don't know if I like this one more than the original though. That's what I'm trying to decide.
It's up to you. The original had more of a story. This one's story was like, I wouldn't say, if you're one of those guys who want to watch movies for stories, I don't think Beetlejuice is it. It doesn't have like the most complex plot ever, so.
I mean, yeah, it's Beetlejuice. What were you expecting?
I don't know. I wasn't expecting anything because I didn't know what it was.
Right. You shouldn't expect anything, JD. That's right.
I mean, I expect movies to have a semi plot, at least something I could wrap my head around. But it's like zero plot. It's just a whole character driven movie. And luckily, I forgot his name. What was the manager's name? Rory.
Oh, I don't remember.
Rory?
Is that his name?
No, it was something. I think it was Rory. I'm gonna call him Rory. I liked Rory. I liked William Dafoe.
You liked Willie Dafoe?
I like Beetlejuice. They're pretty funny. Yeah, I couldn't tell if Beetlejuice is supposed to be a good guy or bad guy. He like kind of acts as both.
He's not. Hey, JD, here's a fun fact. You can never tell.
He's just chaotic.
He's just a force of nature.
He is a chaotic neutral character.
He exists, and there's nothing anybody can do.
And apparently, they keep calling him a demon, but apparently he was actually just a dude. Like in his previous, I don't know if he was. Demon, I couldn't tell if he was lying.
Status.
I couldn't tell if he was lying about his backstory, if he's actually like was a human.
It's actually a good point. We can't take his backstory as fact because he is such a notorious liar. And
because from what I gathered, he just spouts lies all the time.
Yeah.
So he could just be completely lying about everything. The world's
best grifter. I'm not gonna lie, he's really good.
He could just be completely lying about everything. So yeah, I don't know.
Again, if you've seen the first movie, JD, it'll make more sense. You'll be like, God, this guy he's just the worst.
Who is this guy? Who are you? What would you give the movie, James? I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, man. I definitely want to say 8 out of 10. Yeah, I really greatly enjoyed it. Again, it was everything I was hoping it would be. I was so nervous when I heard that they were doing it. But when I heard that Tim Burton was coming back to make it, I was kind of hopeful. And when I saw that they were going to lean into doing the claymation effects for the special effects, I was so happy because it's like that was one of the biggest charms of the original was the claymation, was the practicalness of the effects.
Yeah, I could definitely tell that the sandworm was definitely claymation. So
wow, how could you tell? It was so smooth and seamless.
It was smoother than what I thought claymation could be. And I mean, AI does wonders You turn a 20 FPS claymation to a 60 FPS, and boom, put it on the big screen.
Wow.
Works.
It just works.
It just works.
No, but I greatly loved it. It was everything I was hoping it would be, and then some. And I just had a really great time watching this. And I'm really glad I got to bring you to watch it, because it was like, I wonder how. I wanted to get your like perspective as somebody who's never seen it before. Like, what would you think?
I mean, you might have brought the wrong guy, because you know me, James. I do enjoy a bit of brain rot, brain dead, fun entertainment movies, and I really don't like the other style of movie, the Batman kind of style movie.
You don't like good?
I don't like movies that are slow, really
You don't like
plot driven, intricate plot, super 300 IQ understanding, character motivation stuff. Like, I don't care. I don't care about that.
I can tell you don't care.
It's boring.
Shit, I get it. Yeah, man, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of stuff I don't like. Just a preference though. Doesn't mean the movie's bad. It could be bad.
Doesn't mean it's bad, but
I mean, 300 IQ movies, like super pretentious movies, they could be bad. They could be bad movies.
We could be heroes just for one day.
You either die as an Iron Man or live long enough to become a Doctor Doom. So anyway, yeah, that's for Beetlejuice. I'd say, yeah, you can go watch it.
Beetlemax.
It was great. Anyway, should we mention just one last thing before signing off?
Yeah, but also I'll be right back in 1 second.
1 second? Or it's just okay? I mean, you said 1 second. I guess we'll just wait here then. Wait for him to come back. That's okay. I won't cut this part out because it's basically at the end of the podcast and nobody listens this far in anyway. That's totally fine. I've been getting comments from my parents about shortening the length of the episodes. And I'm like, it's a podcast. It's supposed to be, long, right? It's supposed to be an hour long. I mean, I don't even think it's that long for a podcast. Each episode's like an hour long-ish. And I've seen other podcasts have like 2 hour long episodes.
So what's up?
Nothing. Anyway, so one last thing. The legend. He's always two steps. He's always 2 steps ahead.
Well,
The greatest social experiment. Not my words, his words.
Yeah, unfortunately,
his words, not mine. Nikocado avocado. Have you heard of this man, James?
You fucker! What a bait switch that was.
What? Who'd you think I was talking about?
The 2-timer, Nikocado.
No. We can talk about him too. We still have time. So Nikocado avocado, I saw him in my feed. He's always I didn't say 2-timer. I said 2 steps ahead. That's what Nikocado says, not me. And he, have you seen anything, heard anything about him, James?
I've heard about the situation. I've learned the facts about it as well because I was very uninformed about this. I am
still uninformed about it. I only know the surface level of what I've seen. And what I saw is that he lost a lot of weight and people were surprised about it. So basically he made a video, and in it, he's like, I think he said he lost 250 pounds or something, right?
Which good for him.
Which is, wow, that's quite impressive. I don't know if anyone's ever tried, losing weight for an extended period of time, but 250 pounds in, I think he said 2 years or something like that. 2 years. That's a lot
from what I've heard.
That's so much that I doubt that it was like fully natural. He probably took some like supplements to help him.
Oh, I absolutely
get
think
there because it's just not possible.
No,
sorry, but it's just not possible
in there.
It's not possible unless you just went on like a 6-month fast or something. Just didn't eat any food. But hey, I'm happy for him losing weight.
But I also gotta make it clear that's fine if he did do it that way. There's no problem there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, using supplements to help you lose weight, hey, that's okay. Because the result is what matters. And I've seen the results and it looks real good. You know, I'm surprised how different he looks actually compared to when
He
he's
looks like
250
when
pounds
he first
heavier.
began. It's crazy. It's genuinely, he looks like how he did all that time ago. Like he literally just looks like he turned back time. It's
He looks
so
like
bizarre.
he looks like a brother of what Nikocado Avocado would look like. He looks like Nikocado Avocado's brother.
He looks like Nikocado Avocado's alternate.
Yeah, he's an alternate. Yeah, so he lost like a ton of weight. And I don't know what he was going on about, but he's talking about something like it being a social experiment, and he's always 2 steps ahead. I don't know about that one, but hey, congratulations.
It's so clearly like he's still content pilled, unfortunately.
Of course.
He
must have made a crap ton of money during his like that time.
No doubt in my mind. I also don't think for a second that him gaining that weight was the social experiment.
I don't know either. But
I don't know.
But James, you know who isn't sure 2 steps ahead?
Yeah.
You know who isn't always 2 steps ahead? You.
Me?
You're not Nikocado Avocado.
No, I'm not. I am still fat.
Yeah, but you could be like Nikocado Avocado.
You know what? I'd rather be like Nikocado Avocado than
the 2-timer himself. Speaking of 2-time Dr. Disrespect. He's
2-time
back.
sexual offender.
Yeah, is that what you thought when I mentioned the legend?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I was talking about the legend Nikocado Avocado, but not the legend Dr. Disrespect. Okay, he's back. He came back with another stream. In his stream, he addressed the allegations
very heavily.
And I have a couple of points here of what he said.
Uh-huh.
I wrote it down, this little notepad, like 2 sentences. First claim, he says that the person that he whispered to was above the age of consent.
Hey,
that's what he said. His words, not mine.
I want to say something here. Then why did he say they weren't?
He didn't, James. It's gone.
He did, though.
It's not there anymore. It's erased.
That doesn't mean people don't have the pictures still.
Erased from everyone's memory.
That's great that he erased the tweet.
Like a neuralizer.
It still exists.
So that's what he says.
Like a neuralizer.
He said the messages were not sexual.
Again,
he did say they were. Not me. He said that the Twitch team that saw the messages said it's not sexual. And he also said he did not meet up with them at TwitchCon.
Here's something. We already knew he didn't meet up with them, but they were not appropriate. That's also what we're aware of because he self-admitted to that.
He did say they were bordering inappropriateness, but they were not sexual.
Oh, now they're bordering. Now they're bordering.
In which, I don't know how you could be inappropriate without being sexual, unless it's like something like racial jokes, something like edgy jokes like that. I guess that would be inappropriate and not sexual. So yeah, James, do you want to give the benefit of the doubt?
No, not for a second. The guy admitted to it. This is him doing a very bad job of backpedaling.
No, James, okay. I remember what he said about the ex that he did. He said he put that they were a minor in his ex statement because he wanted to bait all the journalists into covering it so that he could get them, who's on his side, who's not on his side. God, always 2 steps ahead, James.
Hey, cool story. You're still
the greatest social experiment of all time.
Cool. It's a great explanation, sure. You still self-admitted to pedophilia.
What if he was lying, James? What if he was lying? We know that Dr. Disrespects lie all the time.
Dude, that's my favorite defense people actually try to make is like, what if he was lying?
Boom.
So why do you believe him now then if you believe that he's always lying? Like what do you mean? What if he was always lying? What does that mean here? What defense do you think that makes?
Anyway, though, he's back on the saddle. He's streaming again. He's got his chat spamming
again.
He's got his chat spamming legend. You'll get him, Doc. You tell him, Doc. I'm in there too. You just don't see me.
Yeah, where are you hiding, JD? Why aren't you being proud about it?
I'm hiding. I'm hiding somewhere in there, man. I'm up to date with these kinds of things. You know, I've always been a big,
You're hip. You're
huge.
cool.
I've been a huge Doc Dis fan. You know, that's what I call him. We're on a personal nickname basis.
It's just a
and
nickname we have for each other.
yeah, I call him Doc Dis. He calls me the Giz, and then we just
He calls me, what is my age?
he calls
Also,
me above age of consent, and then you know we
also,
we
to
happen
make this
there.
clear, he also said that they were maybe of age.
Yeah, I think there
Let's-
was a. Did he say maybe?
He did.
I don't know, James. I
He
think you're
said the word
lying.
maybe.
I think you're lying, James. I don't think you're.
No, I
don't
think
you're
he's
telling the
really
truth.
bad at this.
He also goes on like a huge rant about the dude who ratted him out.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite thing. It's like they breached contract. It's like you fucking
I mean,
did
is he
this
lying,
first.
James? Is he
You
lying?
talked about it. What do you mean?
Hmm.
Is he lying? Yes, he's lying.
No, I'm pretty sure the dude breached contract first.
No, Doc. So somebody did a breakdown of this that I
Yeah.
watched it. Doc breached contract. Then the guy started talking about that. And then Doc's like, "I never breached contract," and he's like, "Yeah, because you deleted
Wait, so
the tweet."
whoa. Oh, I thought the dude made like an X. He made an X talking about why Doctor Disrespect got banned, and then the doctor responded. Was there something that happened before that X?
Don't call him the doctor.
The doctor. The disrespect. You want to call him the disrespect instead?
Mr.
I don't even know his name, so I can't call him by his name.
Clancy.
It's not Clancy.
No, that's too cool of a name.
Yeah, so I thought that was the event, the order of
No,
events.
if I remember correctly, it
something?
was that there was like some kind of like time thing that he had to wait for, and then that had come and gone, so then he could talk about it. And then
Oh, so what you're
Doc
saying
like
is Doc talked about the situation first, and then he made the X about accusing Doc of the whisper.
it's been a
minor
minute
thing,
since I
and then-
dived into it, so don't take anything I'm saying for sure, because this is just me going off like what I remember of that part from when it
'Cause-
first all kicked off. But pretty sure Doc.
I remember because I remember the disrespect, being very adamant about not wanting to talk about this because it's bad for him.
I wonder why it's bad for him.
So he didn't say anything, and then I think something happened. He did something that pissed off that dude, and then that dude made an X that accused him of doing the whisper thing, and then this whole thing kind of spiraled off that X. But anyway,
God, I hate it.
regardless of that,
Fucking terrible name.
he dives into a lot of legal things where he's like, yeah, legally they weren't supposed to do that, and now since they did that legally, I can do that. And I don't know if that's true, but it's
I'm
happened.
not a lawyer, but that doesn't sound correct.
I'm not a lawyer. It kind of sounds a little weird to me though. That he just says like if they breach contract first about the whole like talking about the situation, if they breach that first, then I can breach it. That it's in writing or something. What was crazy to me is that he's in character for this entire response.
Right.
By the way,
That
he
was
is not.
crazy.
He is not himself. He's Dr. Disrespect. And he
He's-
talks like Dr. Disrespect during it.
He's genuinely unwell.
He's a Batman Bruce Wayne kind of situation where
Nikocado
Bruce
Avocado, you're
Wayne.
the Joker.
Bruce Wayne is Batman, Dr. Disrespect is Clancy, you know, these kinds of things. Anyway, yeah.
Where do we
I don't know.
start
I don't know if he's gonna sue the dude, who first made that X accusing him, because he did say that he was just spouting lies. So, hey, it's I guess it's just who you believe who has a better.
I've seen some
who's got
pretty
the brownie
bad takes
points.
about this from people I used to like, though. I will say that.
You used to like? Do you not like them anymore after their take here?
because they're like, well, he proved his innocence. Everyone's like, did you even watch the video?
Got him.
I don't think he did. maybe I'm blind here, but I wouldn't call that proving your innocence by any means.
I don't think I've seen anyone who is still on Doctor Dis or has like been turned to Doctor Disrespect's side because of this. I'm pretty sure all everyone I've seen were just like they were pretty skeptical about what he was saying. Yeah. First of all, like the weird thing, I saw someone point this out, was that he said that the person who was above the age of consent, and then they say something like the age of consent in like most countries is like 16. So it's still, it was weird that he just didn't say the age, and he instead just said age of consent. So that's weird to me. You know,
that's why I don't trust this man. If you're actually a fan of this guy, I think you're a danger to people.
He says the messages were not sexual.
I don't care what he says. I want to know what the fucking FBI says.
Even they did have a legal team, I think, take a look at it. He said Twitch has like an internal investigation thing, like their security team or something that has lawyers on it or whatever, and they took a look at the messages. He said like he had this like weird story about how he was banned exactly off the platform. So what happened was the messages were sent to the Twitch team first, and they took a look at it and they said that it's not illegal, right? Mm-hmm. And then some time passes, and it turns out that he says, the Dr. Disrespect says that the dude who accused him didn't like him before, right?
Understandable.
And so
I just want to make that clear. Understandable.
And so the other guy, the dude who doesn't like him, found out that the internal Twitch team saw the messages and said they were okay and not illegal. And so then he went higher than that. He went like the director of that team, and then he like made him personally look at all, like they took the entire log, and then like looked at it, and then they made the decision to ban Dr. Disrespect after the second time the team took a look at the messages. But so that's what Dr. Disrespect said in that video. So, you know, really doesn't like the dude. Yeah.
Again, understandable. He's not a likable guy or good by any fucking means. He's debating fucking age of consent. I could not give less of a shit. He's a horrible person. I hope he fucking rots. Like, I haven't liked this guy for a while, and now I'm getting even more reasons to not like him. I'm winning. Your Honor,
I'm winning.
I'm doing. Your Honor,
I'm the two-timer. He keeps calling himself the two-timer too during the whole thing.
I know it's
they keep wanting to take out the two-timer. I don't even know what that means.
It's so deeply.
Have you figured out what it means yet?
No, I think it's like some kind of championship, obviously, but it makes me so deeply uncomfortable watching it because I'm like, you're not actually suffering from this. I fear.
I don't think so either.
That's my takeaway. Is that
he's gonna be perfectly fine.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, this guy realized he could get away with being a fucking pedophile.
Yeah, I think that's why I've been seeing more clips of him like leaning into just like joking about the situation on like X or something. Where he's just posting like he knows, just keep hating, just keep hating.
Run to fucking Kick if he really needs to, but he knows he won't have to. Because Kick loves having pedophiles on their platform, so that he's like, I don't give a shit, I win.
And you know what, James? He does.
Unfortunately, the bad guy wins, guys.
This isn't Beetlejuice.
No, this is real life. The bad guy unfortunately won, and we didn't really do much to stop him. We just said yeah, and then that was it.
Well, I mean, Twitch. It's all between Twitch. I think Twitch has the option of being able to do it, something about it legally. I don't have the logs. We don't have the logs. As much as he
shit about the logs, he admitted to. No, here's my thing. I don't give a shit. He admitted to it. Past this point, I don't care what you say. At the end of the day, he admitted to it.
He did. He did in fact do that.
No fucking thing you say post this matters, because guess what he did? Admitted to it. And I'm not saying this to you. I'm just saying this like to people that are like, be like, "Oh, well, you know, like Twitch, they did." I don't give a shit. I care what he said about it when he addressed it.
To the Dr. Disrespect fans. Actually, the last video we made about Dr. Disrespect, there was some Dr. Disrespect fans, I think. Watch that.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember if there were. I bet.
Well, because I could see the like-dislike ratio. Yeah, I can see it. You can't. It was like, it's like 60-40. So
for
there was some Dr. Disrespect. Like to dislike.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
So the 60 probably came from probably the average viewers, normal crap shooters, and then since it was a video about Dr. Disrespect, it got some clicks from other people. They didn't like it. They didn't like our takes very much.
Really, I hey, you know what? I could not fucking give those a shit. Again, not saying this to you, JD. I want to make this clear. I'm saying this.
No, I think you're saying it to me. I'm going to take it personally.
I'm so happy that they don't like what we said because it's like not our fault. You're the one following this guy.
First of all, I didn't whisper anyone. Okay.
Exactly. Hey,
I didn't whisper anyone.
You can be mad
I'm
at
not
me
Twitch. I'm not Dr. Disrespect.
You're the one following the guy that did this, not me.
I simply just look at the situation.
I'm simply just
the
not
facts. There. I see it, and then I have to make a logical conclusion. There's only one logical conclusion.
He did it.
And it's that he said he did it. He did it.
He admitted to this. I don't know why this is still a conversation. He admitted to it.
Well, James, if you got anything else, then time to lay it on the table.
Yeah, if you're a Dr. Disrespect fan, genuinely go outside. Talk to real people. Tell them you're a Dr. Disrespect fan, and if they don't know what that is, show them. Show them what he said. And then just let public, like, you know, the public judge you for what you are. You fucking monk. You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, you know, if you're,
to
all those 15-year-olds out there, 14-year-olds,
don't watch Aiden Ross if that's what you're about to turn to. you have
if you
other
enjoyed,
options.
You should subscribe, and you can catch us every Sunday. That's when these episodes come out.
Is it?
Yeah. Sorry, what was that, James?
I said, is it?
It is. It is Sunday. And if you like James, you can check him out in the descriptions below. You know, any comment you make will probably get him triggered, and he'll reply to you. Mm-hmm. So, as from what I've seen of everyone hating on him as a Fantastic Four drawing on TikTok, couldn't be happier about that.
They really didn't like it.
And hey, go leave a comment on James' TikTok. Tell him, hey, it looks like ass. You hate the drawing.
Me as I stream and
it's terrible.
Be a terrible audience member on the stream.
Yeah. And then ask him some really, awkward questions. And I'll be here because this is my channel. And
do ask me awkward questions. I get them every time, so don't worry, you won't be alone.
James, bring us out.
I finally beat King.